is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
We're here.
Oh.
I'm echoing a little bit.
There we
Hi,
go.
Justin.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm back.
Sorry about that.
I'm goofy, but I'm back.
Yes, she's back in the office. We're all back as a team. How about it?
I know. Isn't that cool?
It's awesome. It's awesome. We've been all waiting on your return. I'm so glad you're back.
Well, I still got some, little lighting issues. I don't have it perfect because things changed around a little bit. Y'all did a little moving around in this room when I was gone. I'm just going to say.
We did. I know. I tried as hard as I could to get it back to where it was.
I know, but Mama's back and I'm going to work on the lighting. I got to make everything pretty, but I like that my little winter trees, they're not Christmas trees. You see, it's January.
Exactly. Yeah. A little frost on them.
Yes, it's winter trees.
Right. Exactly.
Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about how to make our food last longer. Have you gone grocery shopping, or have you heard your dad talk about the price of groceries lately?
So my dad actually enjoys grocery shopping. He for him, it's kind of like how, people go on a jog to clear their mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He goes to grocery shop. That's what he does for him to do that.
Well, he's an excellent cook. He's an excellent cook. Let's start there. He's a great cook,
Absolutely.
a chef,
Absolutely.
as we say. He's a chef.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is when you go in to shop and you try to make ends meet, you try to work on your budget, the best way to do that is to make the food that you buy last longer. You do things and you freeze them. Well, this one, I'm going to thank this hack. I'm going to send this out to Mona Bagsby, who works. Mona.
Yeah. Mona.
Our incredible salesperson, Mona Bagsby. She told me that she found this wonderful hack about storing your fresh fruits, like your fresh strawberries, in jars in the refrigerator. You don't wash them, you put them in jars, and they can last up to 2 weeks. I found this really great video that shows you how to do that. So if you get fresh berries and you realize, oh my gosh, we got this big bunch of beautiful berries, and they turn into little hairy lumps in like 2 days, Okay, let's see how we can preserve them for up to 2 weeks.
Hi, it's Emily. It's been a few months since I've made a video, but I'm back, and today I want to give you a quick tip on making your strawberries last longer. If you're like me, you buy the big container of strawberries at Costco or Sam's Club, and then half of them go bad before you can eat them. My family and I love strawberries. We slice them up and put them on yogurt with a little granola. They're a really yummy, healthy treat. So I'm going to show you something that's really easy, and you already have it, that will make your strawberries last several weeks in the refrigerator. So if you just put them in the container and in the refrigerator, you usually have about a week or a little less, and then they all start going bad. But if you have a mason jar with a lid, it has to be an airtight glass container. I love these wide mouth jars because it's easy to get things in and out. You can actually stick your hand in there, and you can pour out the strawberries without them getting stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my strawberries in the jar. And you don't wash them. I actually did this. I saw this tip on Facebook, and I had never heard of it before. And this was a couple weeks ago, so I actually tried it. It has been 2 weeks since my strawberries have been in the jar, and I want to show them to you. They're almost gone, but they're still good after 2 weeks. So this is all. You don't wash them, you just put them in the jar and put the lid on. That's a pretty easy tip. I mean, it hardly takes any time at all. Just throw them in the jar and put it in your fridge, and then when you want to eat them, just get them out, wash them, and they're ready to go. I want to show you my jar that I've had in the fridge for 2 weeks now, and I'll show you how good they still look. Okay, this is my jar that I've had in the fridge. This is a huge jar. The one I used today is a quart, but this is a big one, and it held a lot of strawberries. So each time we wanted one, we just came, poured some out, and then washed them, and look at the strawberries. I mean, this is after 2 weeks. They don't go moldy. If you leave them in the jar too long, forget about them in the back of your fridge or something, they will ferment. So don't let them go too long. A glass jar with a lid, and that's a great tip to make your strawberries last a long time in the fridge. I hope you'll try this easy hack and you'll have fresh strawberries for weeks. Thanks for watching.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool. That is cool. I know they did that for bread too, right? Like some people freeze their bread, keep it.
Oh, I freeze my bread. Yes,
Right.
definitely. I do that when it's on sale or whatever. You know, there's a lot of people who get a bad rap, and that they call them preppers now because they're hoarding. We used to call her Mama. And Mama would put everything up, and we preserved everything, and we kept things. And that's what we did, just to make sure everything looked and was available when we couldn't get things. I mean, we grew all of our own food, so we had to preserve stuff. So
Right.
that's not a bad thing, to learn how to take care of the food. Be good stewards.
Absolutely, because you're right. You know, you go to the fridge and you see these nice strawberries, and then like a week later, you look at the strawberries the first time and you're like, I'm gonna eat those, and then like 5 days later you come back and they like do not look as good.
No, but I did like the fact that if they're in a jar, they ferment. And I started
Yeah.
singing strawberry wine in my head.
Right. Classic.
A shout out today to Steve Burney, who's watching, and Paul, who is in Virginia. So thank you guys for being what part of our little family every day. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you share, because it's you that gives the word on our positive show that we're always out there. Hey, it's Waggin Tails Wednesday, and a lot of people are cat people. And if you have a cat, and you've ever noticed that they get off their food, they're not eating, and they're kind of crunched up, and they don't like to walk, they don't like to eat, they don't like to drink, and they just seem to be in pain. They don't feel good. Maybe they're sneezing. There's an upper respiratory infection, and also runny eyes and runny nose, and there's some ulcerations on their tongue. It's a form of feline herpes. It's a terrible, and that's a virus.
Right.
But there is something, there's a product called Viralis that you can start adding to their food. Now, it won't cure them, but it will help them build their immune system so they can fight it. A lot of people have cats that have issued with that. So I want to tell you a little bit about this powder.
Okay.
It's not very expensive. You can keep it on hand. It doesn't mean you don't need to go to a vet, because that's important.
Right. Of course.
But it's good to keep on hand, and you can keep it part of their food regimen and keep their immune systems built up.
Did you know one of the most common cause of respiratory infections in cats is feline herpes, also known as feline viral rhinopneumonitis, rhinotracheitis virus, and feline herpes virus type 1. This virus is highly contagious and has symptoms that include eye discharge, red, itchy, dry, and irritated eyes, as well as squinting, panting, trouble breathing, mouth, throat sores, sinus issues, sneezing, cold sores, and fever blisters. This infection will last the cat's lifespan and cannot be cured. Feline herpes symptoms can be treated, though, using L-lysine. Viralis comes in 4 forms containing L-lysine that help treat not only the upper respiratory infection, but also inflammation and other symptoms associated with feline herpes. Viralis oral gel, Viralis powder, N-acetyl F oral paste, and N-acetyl F lysine treats provide you with numerous ways to administer your cat lysine, no matter how picky they are. Viralis oral gel is perfect to put on your cat's mouth while they lick it up. Viralis powder is great for sprinkling on your cat's wet food. NSL F oral paste is so tasty that even picky cats will eat it. NSL F lysine treats can't make it any easier for your cat to get the medicine they need with this delicious treatment. Allivet carries both Viralist and NSL F products. I'm Brandon. Thank you for visiting Allivet.com. Wishing you and your pets a wonderful day.
I love that we can have something that's cost effective. You know, I've animal rescue for a long time, and we're going to try on Wednesdays to give you little tips that will help your pets stay really healthy. And we're going to talk about all sorts of animal rescues that are out there. And a big shout out to my friends at Critter Cavalry. They do great work, and I encourage you to check them out online. Hey, you know, we've been talking about some shortages in grocery stores and some things that were more expensive than they normally are. Canning jars have gone like crazy.
Really?
But a lot of people finish jelly and peanut butter, or they've got these glass jars. Instead of throwing those in a landfill or even putting them in recycling, you can recycle them in your own kitchen.
Okay.
But I didn't realize when you start buying the lids to these jars how expensive they were.
Yeah, I think I know exactly one. You mean the mason jars? Like
Yeah,
the,
Mason and Ball
right.
and Kerr. The lids that you buy to seal things
Right.
are really, really expensive. And I found
Interesting.
something really cool. When I was looking around, I go, well, what if you could recycle jars from something else that you had in the cabinet and maybe they would fit? And turns out I was right.
Hi, Cat's Cradle here with kitchen quick tip number 12. And this video is going to be about recycling lids for use on canning jars. Here's how I used to store dry goods. I actually use canning jars as little mini canisters. And this is the typical canning lid with the ring and the seal. The seal goes down, you just screw the ring on, and that's how I had lots of stuff stored for a long time. And it's just a hassle having the two-piece lid. And I found these a couple of years ago. Ball Kerr came out with these one-piece plastic lids that fit perfectly on your jars. Here's some oatmeal that I have stored on my pantry shelf, and you just put the lid on, and it's great. Easy to wash, easy to clean. I can even write on it with a perma pen and then just run a scouring pad over and get it right off. Here is a regular mouth, or some people call it small mouth lid that goes on this canning jar of barley. So there's a couple of options for you, a couple of ways to store dry goods in canning jars. But a subscriber of mine gave me a great idea. She said that she buys peanut butter at Aldi, and that the lid that comes on the peanut butter jar fits a small mouth jar just perfectly. Now, I didn't have any peanut butter from Aldi, but I had a different brand. I thought I would try it, and sure enough, it fits just perfectly. I'll turn it upside down here so you can see, just as snug as it can be. And as I looked around my food storage area, I noticed that the mayonnaise lid looked about the same size. Now, this mayonnaise is from Aldi, but it's the same size as other mayonnaise I bought in other grocery stores. So I thought I'd try it on, and it fits perfectly too. So there's a couple of new options for you. Just look around your pantry and see if you have some products that have similar size lids to the size of your canning jars, and you might be able to recycle them and reuse them. You can buy these expensive ones from Ball Kerr new, or you can just try some lids you already have. I hope this tip helps, and that'll save you a few pennies here and there. My family now knows to save all peanut butter and mayonnaise lids. We are going to recycle them. Until next time, this is Cat's Cradle.
What loss have I experienced from addiction, other than loss of self and identity? People that I've come to love, care about, that I've seen that they want to overcome this thing, but they just gave up. And that is really hard. those losses, you never forget them, but you always try to honor these people. And so I feel like Brooks Healing Center is a way of doing that, to really let the families know, people that were in my process, that were in my treatment facility, that were in my groups, that aren't here anymore, that are in my phone books. I know deep down in my heart that they'll be remembered, and that I can share their story and how much fun we had, and also maybe give some people some strength and some recognition that this thing is serious. It is a mental disease, mental disorder that's genetic, and it stems deeper than medication. It comes, you find freedom through healing and from therapy. It's all these things together. It's the mental health and the substance abuse combined. You know, the substance abuse is a symptom, and if we can love these people through whatever they've experienced in their life, then maybe I don't have to experience that loss again.
A partner in Miracle Brooks Healing Center in Normandy, Tennessee. It's a new place, and they're going to start taking people in, and not only with addiction, but with PTSD and things like that. It's a beautiful place. I cannot wait. They're a partner in Miracles, and this is our 22 Days of Positivity. Our show's in January to kind of uplift your spirits, and music is a great way to do that. And I'm going to tell you about some new music coming your way. We've got a guest standing by in our green room. You have probably met her on American Idol. Her name is Jada Vance. She's a Portland girl, where we have a newspaper called the Portland Sun. Hope you're subscribed if you live in Portland. But before that, we've got a gentleman that I cannot wait. He's got new music coming out and a single called Cowboys on Steel Horses. His name is Austin Moody. He's a cutie pie. Just giving you a little sneaky peeky because I reached out to Austin. Hopefully he'll be a guest on our show. He's married to Jennifer Wayne from the group Runaway June. And they're just adorable. They got married during the pandemic and just celebrated their first anniversary. Isn't that crazy? We're already having anniversaries after the pandemic. Well, we're going to head off to Portland now. Our little Jada Vance is standing by. How are you? Welcome.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic now. And, you know, I had a little sickness last week, but we're back at it. Tell me a little bit about you. I was looking at some of the videos that you did around doing American Idol. How did all that take place?
Well, you know, music video wise, you know, I did want to include my hometown in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
And Portland is such a beautiful place. You know, not a lot of people really know where it's at, to be honest with you. But I mean, including that in any sort of video, and it's actually in quite a few of my videos, right there on Main Street and at our museum out there, in a couple of those. So, you know, I just thought giving back to my community was something that felt extremely important to me. And being able to include that in my projects, I feel like, you know, it just kind of made a staple in my music in general. So,
well, you know what? I love Portland, Tennessee. It's a beautiful burg, and the pride. We're talking about keeping strawberries fresh. You guys are the queen and kings of all the strawberries in the state of Tennessee, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a whole festival for it, so that typically happens at the beginning of May,
Mhm.
and thousands of people come straight over to Portland to come and see that festival. I mean, if you want some strawberries, that's the place to be, I tell you.
It is, and no matter how bad or good the season is, they always manage to have strawberries in Portland.
And they're
Well,
always good.
and they're always good. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Well, you've got a show coming up very soon in February.
Yes, so that's February the 4th. We're actually over in Missouri. I do, this duo. So we're going for like some showcases, which we've done all January long, every single weekend. However, the 5th will be right back in Portland, which is going to be at that pizza pub, the new pizza pub out there on is that still what? Yeah, that's 109 out through there, right next to the old Hickory Credit Union. It's a new pop-up place. It's a small little joint.
The kind we love. That's the kind we love.
Oh yeah, I mean it really gives us a chance to be in a more intimate setting. I feel like with the show, which is something that we're not typically used to. You know what I mean? So doing stuff like this is really near and dear to my heart. And I haven't performed in my hometown, Devin, in a long time. So it's been years. So I'm really excited to see the turnout, see some people, from back in the day and be able to connect and, just catch up. So
when people do a show that has as many eyeballs as American Idol or something like that, how did that help you? How did that help you? What happened as a result of doing that show? Win or lose, people go on and they use what they get there.
Yeah, I mean, I have been an advocate for this for many new up and coming artists. It's a whirlwind. Don't get me wrong. I was on that show. I mean, I auditioned when I was 15 years old. So yeah, so I was really young and not prepared whatsoever. I had never had any sort of professional training, any nothing. So going into something like that, it was completely just a ground that I had not been familiar with before at all. But with that being said, regardless win or lose, just like you just said, it gave me a platform and the ability to make the connections and relationships needed, to really realize that this is something that you could do for a living. So
absolutely. Well, you know what? And I tell everybody that it's not about all the lessons and the schooling and all that stuff. It's about a work ethic. And I don't think anybody has more of a work ethic than you. Jada, you work so hard. And that's the thing we applaud here. And we love supporting our local businesses, but our local artists too. And we want you to be famous and successful, and we want you to come back and visit us as you get this new work, because you've got a new video, I think, that's coming out on Friday.
Yeah, I can't believe it. So I've released just singles throughout the pandemic and continuing on last year, just because everything's been locked down. So this video coming out on Friday, we're kind of taking it a different route. Instead of releasing the song first, we're going to release an acoustic video on my YouTube channel, just so that we can try and reconnect with everybody and really just get everybody involved so that we all can feel like we're a part of this thing, So I'm really excited about that. It's called Why. It just kind of talks about, working so hard for what you got and it really never feeling like that's good enough, So, yeah, I feel like we can all relate to that in a sense. I can remember, so I have a day job. I'm actually at work right now.
Bless your heart.
So I remember coming home and there being a stack of bills on my counter, this thick, and just being like, how am I going to make this work? We're musicians on top of, holding regular day jobs just to try to make ends meet. So, just having the weight of that on your shoulders as a young adult and different things, it's just like a whole new area to try to figure out. So I feel like we've all been there and we can all relate to that. So I'm really excited to see what people have to say.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go back since we don't have that video to play yet, and we're going to invite you back because this is a big story, and we're going to talk more with you in the month of February, because February is Heart Month.
That's right.
And we're going to be opening up the heart of the matter and talking about stories and how important it is to know the heart that is within you, and both, you know, people who are born with issues with hearts to people who develop them. We're going to learn all about that, and Jada is going to be a guest with us again.
Yes, I would love to.
All right. Well, we're going to play a song. You talked about a duo. Now tell me a little bit about your run-in video.
Yeah.
Tell me about this gentleman.
So actually, he's my lead guitar player. His name is Caleb Stankard. He's actually the father to my child and my fiance as well, you know, so it's a family thing and I love it. We love it. And we're able to do it together and bring our baby with us and just really be able to enjoy ourselves. You know, you should really always strive to do what you love, you know, and to be able to.
Yes, and if you find a good guitar player, you better marry him.
That's right, especially if he's cute.
A good drummer, a good bass player, a guitar player, you better hang on to them, but you can only marry one.
That's right.
Jada, you are delightful, and we'll see you again in February, okay?
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bad as we made it seem. Sometimes you just have to look straight in that mirror to realize your dreams. Is it just me? I can't keep running away from all the things you do that drive me crazy. Running away, scared to take a breath or you might leave me lonely. Baby, just stay, give us time to talk it over. Wanna get a little closer, yeah. 'Cause you're my little runaway. Ooh la, la.
Deer season's not quite over yet, Bill, but I'm already on the hunt for a new fishing spot for me and Maria and the grandkids for this spring. It sure seems like all the best spots are some of Tennessee's best kept secrets.
You know, there's plenty of good fishing spots in our state, if you know where to look for them, Governor. Tennessee's got everything from big waters to bank fishing.
Well, if anyone knows fishing in the Southeast, sir, it is you. Where are we going to find the big ones, Bill?
Good question. World-class fishing starts with good facilities and a well-managed fishery. I can think of about 18 lakes across the whole state that fit that bill.
18 Tennessee lakes that fit that bill? It sounds like we ought to get started on the Bill Dance signature lakes. Every Tennessean should know where to find the very best fishing in each Grand Division.
You know, that's got quite a ring to it, sir. But if I'm going to lend my name, I want anglers of all ages, from experts to amateurs, to have a legendary experience.
Well, then we better get to work if the Bill Dance signature lakes is going to launch in 2022.
2022. Tell you what, let's load up, grab your gear, your license, and I'll give you a sneak preview, Governor.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's go, buddy.
I gotta ask you, Justin.
Yes.
You know who Bill Dance is?
I don't actually. It's not familiar.
Okay. Any of us that love fishing know Bill Dance. My dad and I used to watch Sunday fishing shows. You know, a lot of people watch football games and stuff. My dad and I watched fishing shows.
I love that.
Outdoor shows. And I was a hunter. My dad's a hunter. And we did it to feed the family. And fishing is a great way to feed your family as well as have a lot of fun while you're doing it. Whether you do catch and release or whether you do like us, you catch, prepare, and put it in the freezer.
Right. Me and my dad, we have convinced ourselves we have a secret spot near Percy Priest, but it's not really a secret spot because we never catch anything. So
it ain't a honey hole.
But for us, you know, yeah, it's like other people don't go there, and there's probably a reason, I guess. But
yeah, that's okay. It's the time spent together, and that's what makes it so special. Get
Very
your
true.
license. Tennessee TWRA is where you find out all your information about your fishing license and your hunting license. You can even get lifetime license.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
I know that.
a baby who's born, it's a lifetime license, and it's a very small amount. And if you're a senior, it's a very small amount. You know, in the middle, you might have to pay a little bit more, but it's worth it. You know, you can get those
Absolutely.
lifetime licensures, and you can check out Bill Dance's new thing. Tennessee lakes are absolutely beautiful.
They are. Every time I pass by one, I just I don't know what it is about the water. It's great to look at. You know,
It's absolutely.
it might sound
stunning.
stupid, but
Well, there is a guy, and we're going to close our show because we look for uplifting things. He's called the Toxic Swimmer, and he wants to promote keeping our rivers, lakes, and waterways clean. Before we get out of here, before we play his last little video, I want to make sure that we've said hi to everybody. Oh my gosh, Mona is joining us. My daddy used to watch Bill Dance faithfully.
Mona, yes,
We
that's
have-
awesome.
I swear to you, Mona and I are cut right off the same cloth.
No, I know it.
Right?
I know it.
I mean,
Y'all are
my-
homegirls.
We are. And Steve Burney is with us.
Man.
And Anita and David and Nancy. A lot of folks watching in West Virginia today
Awesome.
because Jada Vance, half of her family's from West Virginia.
Oh, I
so
see.
they were out
Okay.
watching today. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe wherever you are. Subscribe to our newspapers because they're awesome. But we're going to close with telling you, be safe, everybody, be kind. Remember, you are loved. And this guy, while he does something that's kind of icky and kind of gross, he's pay attention to what his message is, because he is swimming waterways all across America to say they need to be cleaned up. And we salute that and we support that, especially in the great state of Tennessee. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
See
Bye,
y'all.
Justin. Hey, Justin, glad to see you again.
Hey, it's so good to see you in the office again. Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
People say it's crazy that I'm swimming in here with the oil, the gas, the sewage, the coal tar residue. It's crazy that it's not clean enough to swim in, and I'll keep going until it is. My name's Christopher Swain, and most people know me as an open water swimmer. My work is in the area of clean water and human rights advocacy. I I've swum the entire length of the Columbia River, the Hudson River, the Charles River, and then around New York City, there's some really dirty waterways. The Gowanus Canal, the Newtown Creek. There's a whole bunch of waterways where I've been the first person in history to swim the entire length of the waterway. My whole adult life, people have been telling me this is a bad idea. You won't make enough money, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get killed. In your heart, you feel moved to do this thing or that thing to help. You have to only listen to that voice. So I think I was always a kid who loved the water, and I have these sunlit summer euphoric memories of swimming in the ocean. That was before I knew about pollution and sewage. The adult in me started looking for who's at fault. So I went looking for the person who polluted this or the government that let it happen. If someone's going to listen to you, you need to be credible. It needs to come from some real experience. So I think one of the things that I set out to do was learn as much as I could, and that quickly led to the idea that if I actually swam the entire length of the waterway, I could have a visceral personal experience and I could testify from that place. There's an awful film on the water. You can see visible sewage and rainbow sheen from the oil. I can smell gas, oil, poop. What we do is we look at the problem. So on a thing like the Gowanus Canal in New York City, it's one of the dirtiest waterways in the world, basically swimming through like a dirty diaper in a toxic waste dump. So we have a challenge, like, is there a way for Christopher to swim this waterway without getting wet? So that means all the way up to the neck, no water's gonna touch me. It's gonna touch the outside of the suit. And what if we covered everything else with water barrier cream, goggles, earplugs, cap, the whole thing? So I think we're leveraging the problem and the storytelling about the problem to get the platform to talk about how we could solve it or energize a solution. All you can ever say when you're deeply moved to do something, this is what feels right to me in my heart. I don't know what to tell you, but I gotta do it. We don't hesitate to protect the people and the places that we love and that we care about. And that's because we've had all these rewarding experiences with them. And I think it's the same with the natural world. Engage, go find ways to have fun and have rewarding experiences. And then protection and conservation will take care of itself. Because of course you'll protect what you love. As long as we feel hopeful, we can go forward, right? We'll go on.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like it's Southern Sunday summers. Together, on my front porch with my friends. Together with who's ever there, standing next to me. Yeah, together is my favorite.